Young World. I'm gonna give you my top 5 hip hop artists with the most relevant longevity. Most relevant longevity. There's a lot of hip hop artists that are still doing shows from like the 80s and 90s and still running around making a little bit of money and stuff like that. But the key word here is the most relevant longevity. So number one, and these are not really in any particular order, but number one, I'm gonna have to say Ice Cube. Ice Cube came on the scene with NWA in the late 80s. And from the very beginning, Ice Cube was the standout artist in NWA. He was the most one that shined the most. Everybody was feeling his flow. You know what I mean? I was a young buck. I got the NWA tape from my older cousin. You basically can say that he corrupted my mind when he gave me the NWA tape. I mean, I was already been listening to rap my whole life, but the NWA tape kind of changed everything. It like shifted your whole mentality. Then you hear Ice Cube coming out saying what he was saying. You know what I mean? It was just like a whole new thing that was like never seen before. So I'm gonna have to give Ice Cube not number one. I'm gonna just say he's one of the 5, because Ice Cube is still to this day making buku money, making movies, producing movies, putting other people on, making other people money, still very relevant in today's society. Number 2, I'm gonna have to say Ice-T. Ice-T is widely regarded as the first gangster rapper, but Ice-T himself knows that's not true, because he admitted it himself. He got his style from Schoolie D from Philly, home of the first gangster rap song in the history of hip-hop. But Ice-T definitely took it to the next level and took it to another level. And I also think that Ice-T may have been the first artist to put a bad B on his album cover, which was his ex-wife. I don't know if they was married or not, but his ex-girlfriend, ex-wife, baby's mama. That's on Corey Holcomb 5150 show. The very beautiful Darlene Ortiz. She's about 90 years old, still look banging. It's like, nah, she's not 90, but she's definitely about 50. And Ice-T still out here, been on TV since longer than most of us been born. Like when you think about it, he's been on Law and Order since like I was probably eating bubblegum in grade school somewhere. He's been on that show for so long. He's been in movies. He's been New Jack City really popped it off for him as far as acting. He was monumental being a gangster playing a cop in the movie. It was like so crazy, but he really pulled it off and really made himself relevant as an actor. You know what I mean? Because that was like unheard of at that time. So definitely Ice-T. Number 3, I'm gonna have to say Master P. I found out I'm from the East Coast, right on the border of Jersey, about an hour from New York. I grew up on East Coast music. So Master P was somebody that I learned about. Actually, I was in boot camp. I was about 15 years old, and there was this white kid in there. A white kid from like Pittsburgh or somewhere like that, like a western type of area in Pennsylvania. All he kept talking about was Master P, the ice cream man, the ice cream. I'm like, what are you talking about? I had no clue what he was talking about, but he kept talking about this dude, Master P, like he was, you know what I mean, so hot and just so somebody. Then when I got out, that's when I really discovered Master P. Like he had blown up around that time. Like before I went to boot camp, I haven't heard of him. But by the time I got out, I definitely knew who Master P was and heard of Master P, and he was popping everywhere. And to this day, Master P is still one of the top relevant. Still seeing him, still around, making movies, putting people on. Eddie Griffin said he gave him $1 million to be in I think it was I Got the Hookup, maybe one of the movies from back in the day that he did. $1 million. He said ain't nobody ever gave him $1 million to be in the movie. So definitely might have to say Master P. After that, I'm gonna have to say LL Cool J. Ladies love Cool James. LL Cool J was the first Def Jam artist. A lot of people forget about that. LL Cool J was like kind of really like the first B-boy rapper, like for real. But I think he might have been the actual first B-boy rapper, because he kind of was out like either right before or the same time as Run DMC, but he was the young kid. He was about 15 years old, I think he was. And to this day, LL is still every damn where. You look around, you see LL in your backyard, you might look in the damn. He's on TV everywhere. He's on all kind of movies, sitcoms, TV shows. He's a SWAT team member on some TV show. He's everywhere. He was even in one of the Halloween movies, H2O. You know what I mean? And to this day, like I said, still making major money, major moves, still totally relevant. And last but not least, I'm gonna have to say Fat Joe. Flow Joe, you gotta flow Joe. You gotta let him know, Joe. A lot of y'all won't even know what I just said right there and what that even means. Like, a lot of y'all like young bucks. If you're less than like probably 35, 30, especially like less than 30, you have no clue about what I just said right there. But that was Fat Joe when he first came out, Flow Joe. I want to say that was like damn near 89, 90, 91, somewhere around there. Fat Joe came out. He was out way before most of these rappers that you think are household names that have been out for a long time. Fat Joe been out since way back then, like damn near not too long after LL Cool J, probably, for real. But Fat Joe's still relevant, still in our face, still making money, still making moves, still all over the place. We see him comes out every couple years with a hit record. You know what I'm saying? You might not see him for a year or two or a couple years, but it'll just show up with a hit record. Everybody be bumping it. It'll be the jam for a couple, you know what I'm saying, couple years. It's like they last forever, his hit record, some of them. So definitely Fat Joe, I'm gonna have to say, for the last one. And those are my top 5 most relevant longevity hip hop artists. There's a couple other people, like I said, that could have kind of almost made the list, but just aren't doing it as big as these 5 people from the very beginning to the end. We're talking about 20, 30 years. LL goes back, I want to say like 30 years. I probably think LL goes back to. Ice-T, same thing, at least 25, 30 years. These people have been proven over and over, time after time, that they definitely got what it takes and they're still relevant to this day. And by the way, in hip hop, that's really a hard thing to do, for real. And when I did this list by artists who actually rap. You know what I'm saying? All these people actually rapped and were rappers and are rappers. There's other people that been in the music since way back then. People like, of course, Russell Simmons and stuff like that, but he's not an artist himself. So that's why people like him I didn't include. But there goes my top 5 most relevant longevity hip hop artists of all time.